Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the crypto starship. Its mission, to explore new technologies, to seek out new life in the crypto universe, to boldly go where no blockchain has gone before.
Hey everyone, welcome aboard the Crypto Starship. This is Derek.
This is Eric.
This is Ethan.
Welcome aboard.
Also, aka Plu.
Plu.
If you haven't learned his first name yet, it's Lieutenant Plu is also known as aka Ethan, which is a lot more dramatic, as you can tell.
It's been dry. Blue sounds better. That's what I've been called basically my entire life, is just by my last name.
Plu. It's kind of like blue, but with a P.
It's funny when I remember maybe in the 8th grade, I had a friend come over and knock on the door and asked, "Oh, is Plu home?" And my dad's like, "Well, which one do you want? We're all Plus." But just everybody.
I think I might have been that guy in 10th grade doing that. So completely. Derek, how's it going?
It's good. Just finished Vietnam Blockchain Week. I'm getting ready to head over to Hong Kong for the next conference. Also, I got the mother of all airdrops. I got $1,500 in ontology tokens airdropped to my wallet for free. So that was a nice bonus payday there. Yeah, I think those are my update.
How did you pull that off?
They just decided to do that. I was not expecting to get that many tokens, and they just airdropped all of those tokens to everyone who had whitelisted for the ontology token sale. So nice free tokens.
Wow.
I think it's probably the biggest airdrop in
A
history.
little FOMO.
Wow.
A little FOMO right now.
How are you guys doing?
Great. I didn't receive 1,500 tokens today.
No.
$1,500 worth of tokens. So, I mean, I had a coffee.
That's not bad.
I didn't get that
You had to
airdrop
pay for
alert.
it,
What
but
the heck?
Not bad.
I think it was like $4. Could you reimburse me, Derek?
I will reimburse you in crypto starship tokens.
Great. When are those launching?
Someday far in the future, in a black hole somewhere.
Great. Cool. So great. I mean, I guess you'll just have to buy me my coffee.
How are things going in Denver?
They're great. They're great, man. Just all settled in here. So just pushing ahead with the podcast and a couple of the businesses and getting ready for the big, I think Crypto World News is putting on an event in April, which I'm excited to go to. So they're a great group of individuals and they're based here in Denver. So some of the team are based in Denver. So they'll be putting on a 200 or 300 person event, which is going to be great, getting ready for that. And then tonight is another meetup in Boulder. So headed over there.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So we're talking about BeeToken today. You sat down with one of the co-founders of BeeToken, Eric?
Yeah. Ali was one of the original co-founders and lead developers on BeeToken. And for those who don't know what BeeToken is the best way to describe it is a decentralized Airbnb. So very, very similar when it comes to look and feel currently. I think that might change over time. But the whole concept is removing the fees out of sharing your home. So if you have an extra apartment, a condo, a house, an extra room, similar to what you can do on Airbnb by posting it there and receiving some kind of payment in return for someone being able to stay the night, BeeToken allows this to happen in a decentralized way via smart contract and payment with BeeToken with zero fees. So I myself and Plu, who have Airbnbs, love this concept because we get paid almost on a weekly basis for people staying at these Airbnb units, but there's between 10 and 14% that ends up being removed from the account that goes towards the centralized Airbnb. And BeeToken is kind of trying to remove the intermediary and allow individuals to pay the host directly for their stay at the apartment, condo, or house. So it's a very familiar concept when it comes from a technology, but we're adding a layer that allows remit of payment to go directly to the host via smart contract from the guest that's staying there.
I think it's a pretty interesting use case of the blockchain. And they're not just building it for Airbnb, but creating an open protocol that other people can build other types of sharing economies on top of, right?
Yeah, I believe that's in the long-term roadmap. I think they're focusing solely on Bee's Nest for now, or Bee Nest, and they will continue to roll out. I know their team's growing really fast. When they were out here in Denver for the Ethereum hackathon, they were actively recruiting developers to build out the platform. So super exciting, and I think they have a really strong future, as they're one of the rock star teams, I think, in crypto right now when it comes to their background, where they've worked, Uber, Facebook, Google, and so on. And they've come together to really push the envelope in the space, and they're bringing a lot of the Silicon Valley startup mentality, development, and approach to BeeToken.
Awesome. Shall we jump right into the interview then?
Yeah, let's jump right in. It was a great interview. Plu, would you like to get ready to send us into the crypto universe?
Yeah, let's get ready to take off. I just have one message for Airbnb. Beware and wasp out.
Welcome aboard the Crypto Starship. Warp engaged, maximum velocity.
Hey guys, welcome to the Crypto Starship. I'm Captain Eric, and today I have the ambassador of the BeeToken platform, Ali. What's your last name again?
Ayyash.
Ali Ayyash, who's here for the Ethereum hackathon in Denver, Colorado. Your team came for the weekend hackathon, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm here with two of my co-founders, John and Tony, and one of our blockchain engineers, and we're ready for some bugs and hackathons.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the hackathon is supposed to be an all-night, 24-hour event, is that correct?
Yes, so it starts tonight, and then we'll have our own workshop tomorrow as well, and we'll be kind of guiding the people who are interested in playing around with our protocols, building something useful around them.
Oh, that's great. That's great. When you say you have your own workshop, you mean other engineers will come to your workshop to work on the Bee protocol, or give me a little more details about how that works overall?
Yeah, so two of our engineers are going to be presenting about our protocols. Our code is all open source, and we'll have a chance for people to try to play around with them and find bugs. There's a bug bounty where if you can find any vulnerabilities, any security problems, and prove it, there's I think 15% of what we paid for the ETH Denver conference will go for that specifically.
Oh, that's great. So these engineers actually have a reward for finding a bug and basically incentivizing them to work with you guys to help the platform out overall.
Yeah, that is correct. That's the best part about decentralized systems, especially the protocols themselves, given that everything is open source, anybody can contribute. In the end, we might as well just reward them and incentivize them to do that so that everybody is a good player over here. And at the same time, if you find some big vulnerabilities, might hire you.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm assuming you're building your team, so this is a great way to find talent as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So before we jump further into that topic, can you give us a little oversight of BeeToken for who has not heard about it so far, what you guys do, what your mission is, what you're trying to achieve over the next couple of years with your platform?
Sure. So BeeToken is a new cryptocurrency startup. We started in September 2017, officially, I guess, with building up a platform for short-term rentals on the blockchain. So think a decentralized version of Airbnb with no commissions. And we're building the host community, guest community around it. And at the same time, we're based on the Ethereum platform. So we're building 3 protocols. I think I mentioned that. Mm-hmm. And those protocols will support payments, keeping track of reputation, and solving conflicts through a decentralized arbitration. And this is what we'll be presenting today through the hackathon tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, we launched token sale last week, and now we're fully funded and ready to launch our latest MVP in the San Francisco area and hopefully all over the US within the next few months.
That's great. That's great. So just to break that down, when I looked at and you showed me the platform, a little example of it earlier today, anyone that's listening to this should expect to feel like a similar experience to HomeAway or Airbnb or one of those other platforms that exist today online. But there's certain elements that you bring to the table that those platforms don't. For example, the smart contract element that removes the commission and builds the trust into the software itself. And also elements when it comes to the BeeToken being used itself for payment. So the cryptocurrency in general being used for payment for your platform. Can you go into a little more details about the differences between what exists on the market today that's centralized versus your decentralized platform?
Yeah. So Airbnb is a good example of the main centralized version of a home sharing in general and short-term rentals. And their model is basically guests can book places on from hosts, and then they pay them, and everything is done in US dollars. Airbnb takes a small commission. Actually, it's 10 to 15% commission for most of those transactions. And that's their business model. We decided to do something very similar. Basically, guests can find places and book them from the hosts, but instead of paying in dollars, they pay in our own token. And it's whenever you use our main token, it's 0% commission. So basically, there will be no extra charge for, like, the guests will give, if it's 100 BeeToken, the host will see 100 BeeToken at the end of the day.
Awesome.
And it's similar look and feel to Airbnb, but we're, at least for the first year, we're focused more on the crypto heavy users. So we're kind of making it crypto friendly, where you can find crypto hacker houses and kind of like mingle with other crypto enthusiasts in a city if you happen to be traveling.
That's great. That's great. For someone like myself who travels a lot, uses Airbnb a lot, but has the majority of my net worth and wealth in crypto, it makes it very difficult to actually go and find locations or find places to stay. And like you said, find other community members. I usually go on Meetup or other Facebook groups to find these people that I can communicate with, or conferences when I go to different cities. So this, I think, will bring a lot of elements of community building that will really benefit outside of just finding a place to sleep, which is really, really exciting. So tell me, the team is here. You guys have how many people on the team right now to date since you've been funded?
Yeah, so we had to expand very quickly. We built our engineering team. We now have a good operations and marketing team as well. And altogether, I think we're around 12 people right now. We probably reached the 13 today. And yeah, so our main objective as of now is to launch the platform and then start expanding. Given that we are located in San Francisco, we decided to start it in San Francisco and look forward for some launch news very soon.
That's great. That's great. So we were talking earlier before we started recording that you guys are actually based completely in the United States. So your whole entire company is registered in the United States. The token that you offered was basically a security token and top of a utility token. We were talking about this earlier, which is very interesting because most companies that are raising ICOs are registered in Singapore or another foreign country in order to not worry so much about the US regulations that potentially could come. So can you give us a little details about why you guys decided to go fully into the security token direction to fund your company and how that kind of changed the way you raised on your ICO?
Our goal is to not be a security. Our goal is to be able to be a good utility of cryptocurrency online. So basically go ahead and use your crypto or our own token and benefit from extra services.
Yeah.
And that's the main goal. But we realize that our team is entirely in the US. We want to cater for US users.
Yeah.
And since day one, we wanted to do everything in our company to make sure that everything is as legal as possible. So we partnered with a legal firm. We kept on meeting with them on a weekly basis to make sure we get all the latest SEC news. Are we doing it correctly? And all that. So we're less interested in our token being purchased for it's basically for the value or for its value growing over time. But we're more interested in our token to be the token for 0% commission short-term rentals.
Which is incredible.
And
that's awesome. That's awesome. So with that in place and the fundraising in place now, which is great, you guys raised from how many individuals over the sale?
Yeah, so we basically started, we had a private pre-sale and a public pre-sale in the beginning, and we sold for around 100 and something investors. But when we launched our crowd sale, we launched it actually worldwide, and we excluded people from the US. We kind of included them mostly in the private pre-sale because most of the people who participated were accredited investors.
Great.
And so far, right now, we have 19,500 people owning BeeToken.
Which is really going to help kickstart the community in the space.
I can talk more about the criteria we did whenever you launch a new crowd sale, you do a whitelist. So only people in that whitelist can actually participate in the sale. And our whitelist criteria was favoring people who already have used Airbnb, are hosts on Airbnb on other short-term rental platforms, and giving them higher hard cap contributions than everyone else.
Yeah.
And in a sense, most of the users who are owning the token today are going to be using it on our platform whenever it's ready in a city near where they're traveling to.
I'm super excited about that. I was not able to get my hands on a BeeToken yet, but hopefully in the near future, because as an Airbnb host myself, actually, if we go into how we met, it's quite funny. Ali was coming here for the hackathon, obviously, and I got a message because I'm a host on Airbnb. I have multiple units in Denver from Ali and his team directly. And he told me about the platform. He said he was coming to stay and looking at opportunity to just have a conversation with an Airbnb host. And that's how we were able to connect. And I got to tell him about the podcast and get him here as one of the first interviews, which is absolutely outstanding. Now, when it comes to, you said you are launching soon in San Francisco. Now that you have raised the money to expand the platform, what are the goals from the company overall? So I know San Francisco's first, but if we looked at the next 12 to 24 months, how are you guys kind of thinking about the platform and what you want to do? What is the goal for the company?
Yeah. So our goal is to expand as quickly as we can, as aggressively as we can, to make sure that we're the first to market in the cryptocurrency space for short-term rentals. So our short-term goal is, San Francisco and LA. And we have a backlog of other cities where we have good amount of hosts and listings over already directly from our community, mostly from Telegram and Facebook. The people are just reaching out to us and they want to host. The main reason why they're doing this is they're very supportive of the 0% commission and the fact that they can actually earn tokens and get paid in cryptocurrency as well. So our first goal for the year is to go over most of the US cities, and hopefully we can start international expansion later on. The best part about international expansion is most of the people who participated in the crowd sale, those 19,500 outside the US.
That's
so
great.
We already have good following in most major cities that Airbnb supports.
That's great. I think some of the questions that will come up as you start to expand and as hosts get on board and customers get on board, people are staying at the Bee's Nest units, are going to be things like, how are we protected as a host from an insurance perspective? How do we make sure that if we are hosting on another platform like Airbnb and HomeAway, that we synchronize that kind of information and make sure that if someone books on one of the platforms, the other platform's updated? I know that you thought about a few of these different things. Could you give like an overview of how you guys are trying to tackle these core issues as you expand and develop this community?
Yeah. So if you've read our white paper, you will see that it doesn't show as aggressively as the way I just explained our expansion, because right now we have this product, our MVP launch in San Francisco, and it has all the features that allows guests to basically book their places on using BeeToken. But during this time, we want to work with the guests, work with the hosts, understand the limitations, what they like, what they don't like, and work with them while we are here and take their feedback immediately, like put it into back to the platform and build those features as quickly as possible and prioritize the most important things versus the lower features with lower importance. So we'll be the first line of customer support. We'll be immediately helping out the hosts, the guests, and our Telegram community and Twitter, Facebook community are also very, very supportive. And they've been like saying, "Oh, when are you going to launch in our city? I have so many listings. I really want to launch on your platform." So in a sense, we're going to be as decentralized as possible. Let everybody be part of the community. That's why I feel like, I don't know if you've noticed, but like crypto time is different than traditional time for some reason.
Yeah.
And everything in crypto has to move very, very, very quickly as compared to the normal. Like our funding happened, like we had 3 fundings and within 2 months. We've launched the platform within 5 months from starting. And now we have a big customer support, like over 20,000 people ready to use the product.
That's
so
great.
We definitely need to build it as quickly as possible. And at the same time, listen to everybody's feedback, while we don't want to present features that no one wants.
Exactly.
So we want to focus on the most important ones and then just build them.
Yeah, completely agree. And what I love about your platform as well is not only have you guys been able to fundraise very quickly, build such a great community in a space that is extremely important to the overall community itself, but you'll probably be one of the first products that really has great utility on top of the Ethereum blockchain and in the crypto space, right? I think in 2017 was the year of white papers. I think 2018 hopefully is the year of utility. And you guys are one of the first platforms outside of CryptoKitties and a few others that are really pushing into a consumer-friendly space that could actually bring adoption to cryptocurrencies in general. And I think that's extremely important. And one of the reasons that when you reached out to me and I read a little bit more about the platform and I was looking at it, I was extremely excited because I'm like, wow, these guys are actually launching, getting ready to build the community and help expand the crypto community in a space and user experience that's brilliant, which is pretty much unseen so far, which excites me a lot. And I know my co-founders and other people that have followed BeeToken have been extremely excited about. And now being able to eventually participate as a host, I get to experience that firsthand, a real application built on smart contracts that will hopefully, I haven't seen it work yet, but hopefully be extremely powerful for the community. The team overall, can you give me a little overview of everybody on the team? I know you have four co-founders.
Yeah. So we all met at different times, but some of us have been together for like over a year and known each other basically from the San Francisco circle, tech circle, I guess. John put the team mostly together. He's the CEO currently, and Tony is the CTO. Both of them were working at the Uber team for fraud and risk management.
That's great.
And I was the lead engineer for the project originally. I come from Google and Amazon background. I've done a lot in like building the scalable systems, and I'm focusing more on operation right now as a COO. And then there's Jordan, who's the head of product and who's been really, really helpful for like finding what the hosts want and design the product and the features in such a way that we're prioritizing the most important features first and getting it out as quickly as possible. His experience, he's been at Facebook for over 7 years, and we're trying to be like the all-star Silicon Valley team, bringing the professionalism and like the fast implementation and the secure implementation of Silicon Valley to the blockchain industry. And yeah, we're super excited to be one of the leaders in that space and trying to be one of the first really useful utilities of cryptocurrency so that we can get more mainstream adoption. So you mentioned like 2017 was the year of white paper and protocols and proof of concepts.
Yeah.
2018 is the year of utility, definitely. And then 2019 is the year of mainstream.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm really hoping that as we push towards 2019 and 2020, it's not just a conversation about market cap any longer. And it's a fundamental conversation about the technology, how it's shifting in the space and really driving adoption amongst a mass audience. I'm really excited to see how that works out. When you think about the rest of 2018 and the rest of 2019, moving away from BeeToken specifically, what do you think are some key elements that need to happen in the crypto space in order to get to that level of adoption in 2019 and 2020 that we're talking about?
I guess regulations. I think that's the main missing point right now. A lot of people are just jumping the ship without understanding what's happening, why they're doing it, etc. And I feel like more regulations are going to be super helpful. I don't see what happened in China and Korea as a problem. It's actually really helpful for the real mainstream adoption of blockchain. And the SEC has been very, very supportive of the innovation behind blockchain, and they're not really hindering us. They're more trying to protect the average investor and making sure that everybody understands what they're getting themselves into.
That's great. That's great. And if you were looking at all the projects outside of BeeToken, as we move forward into this year, is there anything that excites you a lot, that are teams that you're following a lot, or protocols or new developments that you are paying attention to outside of the regulations? I completely agree that regulation is huge. And I know yesterday we had a SEC and Senate hearing that was live broadcasted on Facebook. And like you said, the tone of that conversation was extremely positive for the most part. I think there was some elements around taxes that a couple senators were worried about, but for the most part, very positive. Outside of the area of regulation, is there things that you're following this year that you're really looking forward to, whether it be developments in the Ethereum protocol or whether it be a specific other company or ICO that you are keeping your eye on?
Yeah, I'm a pretty fan of the Ethereum blockchain, and I'm very excited for the new updates. I think in the early this year, the Casper update was launched on testnet, and I've been following that. One main thing about the current Ethereum, it might not scale as well for real life applications, like let's say a decentralized version of Uber, which has hundred thousands of transactions at one point in time. And the Ethereum network, hopefully by the end of the year, is going to be a lot faster. And hopefully in 2019, as we continue on expanding our own BeeToken platform as well, the Ethereum platform also is going to be supporting more features, and we'll be using more and more of those features as well in our decentralized backend.
Awesome. And do you feel like right now for BeeToken, there is restrictions because of the current speed of Ethereum in general? Are you running into problems as a company currently?
Yeah, so we knew that for a fact from day one. We realized that a fully decentralized backend, a fully decentralized application that is useful and that the user can use without lags is not ready at this point in time. So we decided to go with an on-chain, off-chain model where we use our own servers running a blockchain and basically route most most of the traffic that is intensive and heavy that the current Ethereum blockchain cannot do on chain to that different backend.
Interesting.
And as the Ethereum blockchain improves and becomes faster and cheaper, we'll start moving more and more of that traffic over to the decentralized backend that we have.
That's great. That's great. I think everyone that we talk to, especially we go to a lot of conference and a lot of different around the world, and a lot of individuals are struggling with when and why to launch their ICOs because of this specific problem, right? I love how you guys have a solution currently so you can continue to push the platform forward until Ethereum is updated to a point where you can leverage it full-handed. I don't think a lot of people are thinking that way. I think a lot of them are corresponding their roadmaps with hopeful developments in Ethereum that they can align to and eventually launch a platform on top of. So that's extremely exciting that you guys are able to take the step forward to launch over the next few months, even in the current state of the crypto blockchain universe. Awesome, Ali. I'm so glad that you joined me for this quick conversation. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully we can have a follow-up in a few months when you guys are a little further down your development path. I'm excited to add as much value as I can as a host, for whatever you guys need. And I'm excited for this community to really get access to decentralized platform in this space. So thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we see you again soon.
Yeah, whenever we're back here to launch in Denver, we'll probably meet again.
Perfect, Ali. And I hope to see you in San Francisco.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. Bye.
No problem.
The Crypto Starship is a production of Starship Media LLC. The contents of the show, including our videos, podcasts, and our website, are provided for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investing, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any financial, investing, trading, or life decisions based on our show. Understand that investing or trading in digital assets has potential risks involved. Before investing, make sure to do your own due diligence